It's May 31st at 11:50 a.m. and the irrigation guys are downstairs and they're putting bubblers in the former island with grass, and they're saying that there's a mesh down below these trees, but from the previous videos and photos that I've taken, there's only been a trench dug, and then on top of the ground were these spider lines that are plastic. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, they're taking off now that I started asking questions. So what they're saying is this is what was visible after the repairs and the new irrigation last fall, and continued to be visible all year. So yeah, see, they took off. You start asking questions and you come back, they take off. They don't stick around. So what they're saying is that there is a large mesh underground watering system that will put water out to all these trees. But the problem is, from these boxes right here, what came out was those black tubes that I showed you just on the other side of the building. Those black tubes run to each of these individual plants, up there and there and there. Then before they put the rock in, on this tree there was one sticking up here at the tree, but they're telling us that there's mesh here, and I can tell you I'm standing on top of one box. As I walk to the next one, I'm on top of the trench. Below this trench and below this rock was a fiber barrier. It was fabric that had been put there when they took out the original grass to keep it from growing through. So what they did is they just did one trench and laid the pipe down in here. They didn't do any more digging in these other areas to put down a mesh. There was no visible mesh underneath the rock. There's no visible mesh anywhere else. So our question still is, where is the deep root watering system? I mean, this is one of the new plants right here. It has water running right to it. You can see the plant right down there. There's the water running to it. Obviously a very good choice by the board. It didn't even make it a month and a half. It's dead, like some of the others are on their way out. Okay, this is the only, well, one of the newest trees planted around Building A. It was planted around 8-9 years ago after they did the first rocking, and it killed all these other vegetations and all the other trees. There's another one of those plants they planted, and it's already all wilting up towards the bottom, just like the other one did about a couple days ago. That was planted. There's an old tree there. It was falling apart, so that was a good choice to take that down. We agree with that. But let's got to go over here and throw some garbage away. You know, life doesn't stop just because we have issues with the homeowners association. We'll take a look over here too. Yesterday when they took the mound out below Unit 206, instead of removing the dirt like they should have and debris, they came out here and they laid it all out here. Here's a stump of an old tree that they just cut it down. And what you see in it is a lot of roots. Well, these roots are green. Yesterday I got one in my car, one of the bigger ones. It's green. Doesn't really move, or I mean, it's very flexible. It's not decomposed. I've been here 13 years, there was never a tree in that mound. That's what they're trying to say. But when you dig down a foot, you're going to hit those roots that were getting water. So what we used to have up in front is, you can see the large trees at the north end. This one tree down here. That one tree was planted to replace 4 other trees that died within 1 year of the last rocking. So, going to look at got a lot of people moving today. Wonder why that is. Along the back here in the yard, we used to have 2 very large trees, and they've replaced one after complaining for 10 years. Still, the damage by the cat wasn't replaced. After complaining for 10 years, they finally replaced that tree right there. That's not where the original one was. Neighbor's been watering it because it was wilting. So there was one in the middle of the yard. Here's the pool that we have to call the county on because it's not up to code, as you can get into it with a popsicle stick. Board was notified of that. Alright, that's the president's residence up there. Won't give you the number, that's a little invasive to say that. But we're going to look at the new trees around her building. She becomes president within a year. They cut down, I think, 2 trees here, maybe possibly 3, and they replaced them immediately. Yet trees that have been gone for 10 years have yet to be replaced. Over here, this tree that's standing right in front of us, there had never been a tree there. But because the board member lives upstairs and a former president lives down below, gets a tree. So they said 12 trees. So we got 1, 2, 3 trees right there. On a ramp, there's a violation, needs to be thrown away. And notice that's the only way to keep them alive in these rocks is to trench them out and fill them up with water. What's that going to do when they become full-grown trees? There's another tree right there. So what we're at, 1, 2, 3. This is 4. All right, here's 5. Again, where are we? Right around the president's house. Another board member's house right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new trees. That's interesting. 5 new trees. Yet the trees that have been gone for 10 years and we've repeatedly, as owners, asked to be replaced are not replaced. Have this area in here. This is what it kind of originally looked like. There used to be grass down below this. Now we're not upset about some of the grass being removed. But here's another one. Where were we at? 5? 3, 4, 5. Here's 6. So of the 12 trees, half of them were planted around Building A. And look at, they're having to put, someone's put some soil down there and trying to keep it alive. Let's see what this tree cost us. It's a 24-inch, $185. $185. And then we have a free program through SRP to get trees. And I brought that up. We as owners, as long as, you know, we have permission to plant them, we could. So there's one down there. So there's the 6th tree, new tree. I do not believe there are any trees in that area. So that's 6. So let's go look at some other things. I believe there's some more over here. But 5 of them, 5 of 12, planted around the board members' houses. The president and the former president got all new trees. You know. And I believe there's a new tree over here that was planted to replace, yeah. So we were at 6. Here's 7. This one was planted right here. Again, another area where you have multiple different rocks. Multiple areas of different rock. They took this out. It used to be grass. And if the reasoning is the same, they did it up front, then they're going to take all the grass out. This one's a little dry looking. Wonder how much we paid for it. $225. $225. It's to replace a tree. You can see the sawdust there. That was a pine tree. It was planted just too close to the building. And you can see its old roots in there that were never removed and stuff. So we're going to have problems with that big root ball coming out. But that there, so we're at 7. For a tree that was removed this year, by the way. So let's remember that. That was a tree that was removed this year. They removed 2 pine trees back here off this patio with this umbrella on the back of it. Removed 2 pine trees. And within the year, replaced it with another tree. And it's in a proper location. I think everyone would agree that's a great spot for that tree, and it's going to grow up. Absolutely. Positive thing there. So we're at 8 trees. There should be 4 more trees we got to find. 4 more trees we got to find. However, Building A has yet to have trees that were removed 10 years ago replaced. So if you're getting the picture, if you're a board member, you can get what you want done, but other people can't get that done. So we had a bunch of bushes removed out of here. I didn't really like them, but I think they do need to plant something here. And it was mostly the frost got them. But you'll notice it's different vegetation here all of a sudden. We got these kind of bushes. Don't know what they are. You know, some palms come around. A lot of palms here. The old rock. You have oleanders in front of the building in some areas, but you don't have them in others. All right, so now we're to the next 3 trees. We're 8, so we're at 11 trees right now. and not counting the one planted behind my unit. So 1, 2, 3. This is what was done this year for the same thing that happened 10 years ago. When they put the river rock in, it dried out all of the hedges that used to be in front. It killed these probably 4 trees here, because I believe there was another one in the middle over there between the full-grown one and this one. Again, they talk about how they're watering these with a mesh, but you can see right there, there's a sprinkler, above ground sprinklers. Right there, watering these. Oh, we got a lizard. See the lizard on the tree? We've turned this into lizard habitat. I do enjoy lizards. But, yeah, again, you know, these trees, growing quite quickly, I would say this one is. These two also, they were small when they were planted in. So they've taken off this spring. They're going to be nice trees here. We appreciate that. The problem is, what we don't appreciate is the fact that they're doing it because, well, at the end of the building is a friend of the board member. There should be another tree in here, but there isn't. Look at it. There's tubing right there, not underground. That's what runs to those. There's an old ficus bush that got cut down. So landscapers come back. If they stop, then we'll ask them where they put this mesh. Nope. There they go. They're going to turn? Nope, they're leaving. They're done for the day probably. Ask too many questions and they go. Bye-bye. Wave at them. There they go. Up the street. Taking off. They don't want to be around here when there's someone watching them. I think that's against the speed limit there. Okay, and then we got this here, this grass area. We can take a look here in the parking lot. Is water stains all the way through here, and it continues to water. So if they use justification that there was a slime mold over there and the water was running down, why hasn't this grass been removed also? Not that I want to see grass removed, but if you're going to use the reasoning, you've got to use it for all the grass. We have other areas. Let's look at some more stains that continue to be and get into these. Look at that's been repatched too. Same place. You see it on the sidewalk where it's been staining for years. Over here, we have a little overspray on this side. This other side, I mean, it's just sprinklers out of adjustment. Simply sprinklers out of adjustment. This is a private garden for one of the board members' husbands. He gets to plant what he wants in there, and they take care of it for him. But he gets to do that. Over here, we can see where it's coming apart on this asphalt. We can see more damage by the tractor yesterday coming up here on this. To get the Unit A people to acquiesce a little bit on this gravel, they said that this grass was being taken out, but it sprays over here and leaves a stain. It's causing problems. This area right here, this lighter area, is an area that oversprays every night. Every night, but they can't take this grass out because that's the only way they told us they could water that tree, which is going to be a big tree. So again, we're back up at the front. I mean, you can just see the water stain right here. There's a bigger water stain in this area than was here. And again, you've seen the videos, I hope, that show the overspray. But let's take one more look at this. So they came out and they put the bubblers. They got little bubblers here for the potato plants. I believe they were going to put something like that, a potato bush. But again, all that was put in here is between these right here was one trench. And off of these boxes came those black spider lines that ran to this. Now let's open one up and take a look. They're probably going to blame me for breaking something, but I'm just taking a look. See, there you go. There's one hose right there. That's what's supposed to be watering this tree. That's what they told me yesterday. All right. So what we got there is 6 lines. 6 lines coming off of, and it's filling up with sediment. 6 lines coming off of that. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bushes. And one of those lines is probably this one right here, unless that one's cut, although there's a little moisture there, so probably coming up. As you can see, I've replaced it. It will not come off. I'll put the rock back up against it. It is the way I found it. I did no damage. All I did is look inside. So where is the mesh? If there's only a trench through here, where did they lay the mesh? If I dig this up, I know I will not find mesh. So those piles of rock, those might as well be the burial sites for our trees, because they're not going to make it without water. Not going to make it without water. We're already seeing, after 2 weeks of no water, some yellowing of these trees. So I suppose that the irrigation guys have been told that if I show up to get out of Dodge, because I'm going to ask them the question, how did they set up the watering for the trees? Look at this beautiful rock all over. And then this here, this is our driveway after they scuffed it all up. They took that bobcat and they pushed that blade down and they just drove it across the ground and just scuffed it all up. The scuffs are over there. Yet, have they come out here with the broom to clean anything up? No, we still have rock from 2 weeks ago out here in our driveway. Still have rock. Look, there's a pile right there of rock and river rock. The new rock and river rock mixed up. They were out here yesterday with shovels. No push brooms. No push brooms. Just blowers. They could have scooped all of this up. It's all underneath my car, which has been turned into the insurance companies for the damage and the dents that were put into it from the rocks being thrown by one of their machines. We still have river rock mixed in over here. We've got dirt and roots mixed into those rocks. Yeah, let's see what else we got. It's been going on a week. I mean, it's all the way down through here. There's just rock everywhere. Everywhere. Again, the bricks over here have not been repaired. Drove down in here, deposited the rock, packed it down. Has just not been repaired. That's damage to the property that the homeowners will have to pay. Right there. They mowed this week. They mowed right over the top of that rock. They never did anything to get it up. They never came out here with a rake and tried to rake it up. They just mowed right over it. Look at that. Grass is dying underneath it. But nobody's going to oversee any of this because this is Building A. The board members live in the back. The board members don't care about the other areas except theirs, as you can see by the planting of the trees. This is why we need more democracy in homeowners associations. This is why they cannot be oligarchies. I mean, this rock was just put in yesterday, and I can barely walk up. I mean, I got rock here. There's rock coming out over here. Rock's falling in over here. It's already sliding down from there. You know, there's no, I can tell you right now, where's the mesh for this tree? Here's the irrigation line right there to that flag, and it's the same for those other two flags over there. No mesh. Bare dirt. They didn't dig anything up here, as you can see. Nothing here. You can see that line right there. Right there, you see that? There's an irrigation box. More lizards on the tree. Well, we got lots of lizards this year. Irrigation box goes right there. And then they came underneath here, went to that one, and that's where they ran spider lines off of this right here. Is off that. Let's take a look to see how many they ran. There's 6 right there. 6 right there, or sorry, 5 right there. But they got 2 plants under here that are dead as doornails. I don't know why you plant palms. So there's 2 of those. And then they got 3 going to, that's 5. So 1 plant, 2 plants. These 3 flags are out here. 1, 2, 3 out there. And there's 5 lines coming off this box. So where's the water running to the mesh? Where is it? There isn't any. That's just the fact. There is no deep root watering system for these trees. If we go over here, we'll have to find an irrigation box over here. They had to put it in yesterday. Here we go. There's a pop-up right there above ground. There's one right there above ground. There's the 3rd one right there above ground. We're out from under the canopy of the tree now. Where is the... oh boy. That's real soft right there because when they capped the irrigation, they didn't cap this one. They left it and it sprayed all the way underneath this sidewalk here. And you can, if you push on that, you can feel it giving away underneath into there. There are 2 green boxes, irrigation boxes right here. They just covered up. You can see bare dirt, more bare dirt right there. But again, no evidence of a mesh being put down. It's not under the rocks. It is not under the ground. So where is the watering system for these trees? You got to ask. You know, We pay the same amount as the board members, but 5 of them choose where all this goes. They told us that we would have input when Building A was being done, that we'd have access to the irrigation plan. None of that has been given to us. They're making me ask, and then I have to, my father's had asked, he's asked for all that, and all we get is a list of plants. A list of plants. We don't get a cost on anyththing, but somewhere around $6,000 is what we've been kind of told that it was budgeted for. You know, they got the new rock around here, and I'll admit, I do like the new rock where the grass had been. I still would like to see grass, but this new rock in here, looks much better than the river rock. That is going to be a problem. It's just going to be, in the afternoon, it just reflects up into the next unit over's windows. Extremely bright, much hotter out here, much hotter. I don't know how long these trees are going to withstand it. But again, there's no deep root system in here. And when you go to ask the people, and have them show it to you, we saw, they scurry. They scurry off. Also, look here. This rock wasn't replaced. It's old rock in there. And then over here, bare dirt. Bare dirt, no rock, because they're not going to do the rest of the building. Chunk of cement right there. Dead bird, because they poison the birds around here. Nobody picks those up. Well, that one's half eaten and decomposed. Back here, again, the rock starts again right here. Doesn't go all the way to the outside, doesn't go all the way in there. They don't even finish the jobs that they start. So, you know, what are they spending our money on? Their own little projects to put $200 trees, 10 of them, they're about $2,000 worth of trees. 5 of them back there run around, I'd say on average $200. 5 of them around the president of the HOA's house. $2,000 spent to put trees around her place, and in some areas where they'd never been, and in other ones where they cut them down this last year, yet not a dime has been spent on the trees to replace that have been gone for 10 years. Arlene, she got on the board to get that tree. That tree that's down there, the little one, and that's been there about 9 years, and it's just starting to get water, and it's really taken off this last year. But if they'd properly taken care of it and maintained it, it'd probably be, well, I'd say twice the size of that. I mean, it is not much bigger than when they started, but it's really taken off and filled out, but it's got a lot of something eating the leaves, but nobody's taking care of that. Well, I'll go post this up on YouTube. I'm not going swimming after this one today. I've already been swimming for 3 hours. Post this on YouTube and expose more.